Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 8 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 8 and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter data and graphs. And the lessons we're going to cover today are interpret tables, interpret bar graphs, create bar graphs, and interpret line graphs. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So let's just start with the lesson. Here I am on grade 8 math. The chapter we're working on is data and graphs. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is interpret tables. A grocery store chain tracked the number of trips people made to its store last week. So you are given with a table in which the grocery store tracked the number of trips people made to the store, right? How many people went to the grocery store exactly 5 times last week? So you are given two of the columns in the table. One of the column is number of trips and how many times they have visited, right? Like number of trips, and how many people visited. So you need to see how many people visited the store exactly 5 times. So just go to the number of trips column. There you can find the 5. That means 14 people visited the store 5 times. Got it? 14 people visited the store exactly 5 times. The basic thing here is you just need to read the values from the data. Read the data from the tables, right? You just have to understand the question, like what you have to read the data from the tables. Let's just start with the test questions. And the first one is, in considering whether to open a new branch, the city council examined the number of times some typical residents went to the library last month. How many people are there in all? So you have to see how many people visited the library last month. Here, here is the number of trips, like 9 people visited one time, 5 people visited 2 times. So these are the people who visited the library. You have to see how much the total people, you just have to add these values, right? 16 and 521 and 930, the total peoples are 30 who visited the library. Like that means the last month 30 people visited the library. Got it? The correct option is 30. Okay, the next one is, Mr. Kemp, the marine biology teacher, asked his students how many times they went to the beach last summer. How many students went to the beach fewer than 2 times? So you are given the values, you have the number of trips and their frequency. Frequency means how many times, how many people visited, right? So how many students went to the beach fewer than two times? So fewer than two, you have two numbers, they are one and zero. So number of trips, one trip have eight peoples and zero trips did three peoples. So 8 plus 3 makes 11. Got it? The correct option is 11. So 11 students did fewer than two times. They visited fewer than two times. Lara figured out the scores at the end of the card game. Which score did the greatest number of people receive? Which is the correct option? Here is the score given, and here is the people who scored, right? 4 score did 15 people, 5 score, 4 people did 5 score, 8 people did 6 score. So the greatest number of people receive, the greatest number is 20, right? So 20 is the score. 20 is the number of peoples who did the score 7. So the correct option is 7. 20 peoples have the score 7. The correct option is 7. Got it? Okay, the next one is the students, Mr. Magazine's class recorded the number of siblings that each has. How many students have more than two siblings? So, which is the correct option? You need to add all the frequency values that have the number of siblings that have more than two number of siblings, right? Just add the frequency in front of 3, 4, and 5. So, which is the correct option? Yes, 34 of the students have more than two siblings. The correct option is 34. The grocery store chain tracked the number of trips people made to its store last week. How many people went to the grocery store exactly 5 times last week? So, which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is 14. 14 people visited the number of grocery store exactly 5 times, right? The correct option is 14. The next one is to better understand library usage patterns. A library figured out how many books were checked out by some patrons last year. So, which is the correct the number? Question is how many patrons checked out at least 4 books? The correct option is how many patrons checked at least the minimum value would be 4, right? So the greater value would be any. So you need to add the values that are 14 and that are in front of 4 and 5. So 18 plus 20 is 38. The correct option is 38. The correct option is 38. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is interpret bar graphs. So the one we just finished is interpret tables. We have learned how do we read data from the tables. Now we're going to learn how do we read data from the bar graphs, right? Let's just start with the interpret bar graphs. Okay, here is the bar graph given, right? Let's just start with the examples. A sports fan decided to examine the patterns of medals won by the certain countries at several Olympic Games. Which country won more medals in 2008, Romania or Australia? Right? First, let's just understand the graph. So, on the x axis, you have the countries. Here on this side, you have the countries mentioned Australia, France, Britain, and Romania. On the y axis, you have the number of medals they won, right? You have two colors. You can see two colors here, green color and the purple color. Green represents the medal they received in 2004 and purple represents the medals they have won on 2008. The question is which country won more medals in 2008, right? So the purple color represents 2008. So just look at the values that has the highest value. 45 it is. And the question is Romania or Australia. Here is Australia. Australia wants 45 in 2008 and Romania wants just match it 10. This one 10 and this one 45. So who won more? Obviously Australia more won Australia won more medals in 2008 because Australia has 45 medals in 2008 while Romania has 10 medals. Got it? First, you need to understand the graph and then you can read the values. So, the correct option is Australia. Got it? Let's just start with the test questions. A farmer recalled how many wet watermelons were harvested in the past 4 days. On which day were the most watermelons harvested? So, you are given a bar graph, just understand the graph. On the x axis, you are given the days, right? On Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, he harvested the watermelons. And on the y axis, you have the number of watermelons. On Wednesday, he did 50. Match this line here, right? On Thursday, again the same 50. On Friday, he did 60. And on Saturday, he harvested 90 melons. The question is on which day were the most watermelons harvested? So, obviously, the highest value is 90, that is on the Saturday. That means on Saturday he harvested the most watermelons. Got it? The correct option is Saturday. So first understand the graph carefully and then you can find your answer. Ronald wrote down how many pages he read over the past 3 days. How many pages in total did Ronald read on Tuesday and Monday? You need to calculate the total pages he read on Tuesday and Monday. So, which is the correct option? So, which is the correct option? On Tuesday, he read 50 pages, right? And on Monday, he read 85 pages. You need to calculate the total pages, so just add 85 plus 50 is. The correct option is 135 pages, right? So the correct option is 135 pages. Got it? The next one is Olivia graphed the daily high temperature for 4 days. How much warmer was it on Tuesday than on Thursday? On Tuesday, that is 15 degrees, and on Thursday, that is 10 degrees. That means Tuesday is 5 degree warmer than Thursday. The correct option is 5 degrees, right? Okay, the next one is an interior designer wrote down the pieces of prices of various items at several wholesale furniture dealer. And the question is, does a living room set cost more at couches or more or Wendy's? Okay, let me just read the question again. Does a living room set cost more at couches and more or Wendy's furniture? Okay, let's see. You have the companies over here and cost over here. The purple color represents couches and the green represent tables. Does a living room set cost more at couches or and more or Wendy's furniture? Here is Wendy's furniture, right? At the Wendy's furniture, the couches at 75 or tables at 50. And here is couches and more. Couches and more have 80. That means who have more, couches have more, right? Couches and more have more cost than Wendy's furniture. The correct option is couches and more. Got it? Okay, the next one is a cable company analyst paid attention to how many new customers it had each day. On which day did the cable company have the fewest new customers? So, which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is Tuesday has the fewest customers, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson, and the next lesson is okay, the next lesson is create bar graphs. So we have seen how do we interpret bar graphs. Now we are going to see how do we make the bar graphs, right? Okay, just start with the first example. At soccer practice, Dayan made 8 goals on Wednesday, 6 goals on Thursday, 1 goal on Friday, and 1 goal on Saturday. Use the data to complete the bar graph below. Click to set the height of the missing bar. Okay, one of the bar is missing. Wednesday 8, Thursday 6, Friday 1, and Saturday 1, but the graph is complete. Let's just start with the test questions. Let's see what. Okay, that's exactly the same question. A soccer practice. Diane made 8 goals on Wednesday. Here is 8. 6 goals on Thursday, 1 goal on Friday, and 1 on Saturday. On this one, and let's see on this one, 7. So this is the correct option. You just have to match the values. You can see here Wednesday is 7, right? But in the question you are given Wednesday has 8, Thursday has 6, Friday and Saturday have 1 1, right? So option number 1 is the correct option. The next one is Daryl, an employee at the Shen's convenience store, looked at the sales of each of its soda products. Use the data in the table to complete the bar graph below. Okay, let's see. Green color represents Friday and blue represents Saturday. Kicken's coffee 100 on Friday and 90 on Saturday. So you can see 101 is given, but the 91 is missed here, right? Okay, let's check the other one. 100 for Brenner's juice and 90 for the Saturday. Crazy Cola have 100 and 50. So option number 2 is the correct option because here you are given with the bar of the Kicken's coffee, right? Option 2 is the correct option. At an apple orchard, 60 apples were picked on Monday, 20 apples were picked on Tuesday, 40 apples were picked on Wednesday, and 80 apples were picked on Thursday. Use the data to complete the bar graph below. Okay, so for the first graph, we have the bar is missing for the Thursday, right? So for Thursday, it is 80 apples. So here is the correct one. The second option is the correct option. Got it? Option number 2 is the correct option. The counselor's office at Belleville High School tracked the number of students in each class. Use the data in the table to complete the bar graph below. Okay, let's see. Mrs. Holt have 30 in the 35 in the third period and 15. Here is Mrs. Holt. 35 and 15. Mrs. Yamaguchi has 40 on third period and 30. Here is 40 and here is 30. Mrs. Pavlova have 40 and 40. 40 and 40. Just match if they are the correct. The bars are the right one. Mrs. Bernard have 25 and 35. So this is the correct option. I think on the second one, you have one of the bar missing. Yes, here you can see this bar is missing. So option number one is the correct option. Summerfield Elementary School polled its students about their favorite vegetables in order to decide which ones to plant in the new school garden. So just match the values, right? Because celery 10 and lower element student have 10 and upper element student have 80. It is, but this isn't 10. That means the second one is the correct option. See here 10 and 80, then the second value is 80, 80, 20, 30. 80, 80 asparagus 20 and 30. So option number 2 is the correct option. Got it? An architect recorded the number of different types of buildings and the materials from which they were made. Use the data in the table to complete the bar graph below. You just have to match the values from the table to the graph. So second one is incomplete. Option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? While looking through an almanac at the library, Nicole Thing noticed some data showing the population density of various states. Use the data in the table to complete the bar graph below. So which is the correct option? You have 90 and 100. You have 60 and 60, 70 and 80 and 40. 40 option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? The bed and breakfast inn had 45 guests on Monday, 25 guests on Monday, 5 guests on Tuesday, 25 guests on Wednesday, 25 guests on Thursday, 5 guests on Friday, and 20 guests on Saturday. Use this data to complete the bar graph below. Here you are given with 5 guests on Friday, but here this one is 10. This isn't the correct option. Option number, yes, 2 is the correct option, right? You can see here you have 5. So the option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is create, interpret line graph. Now we're going to see how do we read data from the line graph. Let's just start with the line graph. Okay. Spencer, a doctor's office receptionist, tracked the average waiting time at the office each month. Which month has the shortest average waiting time? Right? So you have to see the smallest value. December it is 40, May it is 50. So the lowest point on the graph is This one, that is on the September. That means September has the shortest average waiting time. Let's just start with the test questions. Our dry cleaner in Blue Point kept track of how many men and women customers he had each day. How many men customers on Sunday? So the brown color represents the men customer, right? And here is the Sunday. Just look at the men customer. This one, it is 80 men on Sunday. At the end of each month, Kenneth received a statement showing the balance of his saving account. In which month on the graph Kenneth received Kenneth's saving balance the lowest? Which is the correct option? Yes, that is May. May has the lowest balance. The correct option is May. Very good. Spencer, a doctor's office receptionist, tracked the average waiting time at the office each month. Which month has the shortest average waiting time? So, which is the correct option? Yes, that is September. Have the shortest average waiting time. The correct option is September. Mr. Melton recorded the amount he spent on gas each month to see if it would be cheaper to take the train to work. How much did Mr. Melton spend on gas in March? Which is the correct option? Yes, that is $70. The correct option is 70. For a science project, students in Mr. Mason's class displayed the amount of rainfall in Hilo, Hawaii on a bar graph. Which is the driest month on the graph? Which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is June is the driest month. The correct option is June. The drama department recorded how long the annual school play lasted each year. In which year did the school play last exactly 80 minutes? So, which is the correct option? 80. Where is 80? Here is 80. And 80 minutes last in. Yes, the correct option is 2015. It is very good. During monthly visits to the veterinarian, Peanut's weight was recorded. In which month did Peanut reach 20 kilograms? Which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is February. It is very good. The correct option is February. The Springdale Post Office monitors the average wait times for its services. How long was the average time for a passport photo on Monday? Which is the correct option? That is 45 Monday. Yes, that is 45, right? Okay, the next one is. Oh, we are done with the lesson. So, we were working on grade 8 math. The chapter we were working on is data and graphs. And the lessons we have covered today are interpret tables, interpret bar graphs, create bar graphs, and interpret line graphs, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. So if you have any question, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Please ask question if you have any. No questions? Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.